Knots can be very useful tools. Most of us use them every day, whether we tie our shoes, tie a load down at work, or many other various things. Today I'm going to demonstrate and talk about the most useful knot you'll ever tie. What makes me an authority on knots? Several years ago I became an Eagle Scout and spend much of my free time either kayaking, fishing, hiking, camping, whatever the case may be, and knots are very useful in all of those instances. So what is that magical knot? It's called a 2/2 hitch, and there are different variations of it. Two variations I'm going to cover today are the regular 2/2 hitch, the slip 2/2 hitch, and the fishing 2/2 hitch. So a regular 2/2 hitch, what you're going to do is you're going to tie around a post, a pole, whatever you're tying to, whether you're tying up a canoe or something else. So you're going to throw your rope around it, you're going to have the loose end in your right hand, go over the top, up through the hole you make, back over the top, and up through that second hole, and then tighten it down. What's so great about this knot is that it tightens down around your tree, your post, your pole, whatever, and it's not going anywhere. That knot is stuck, it is tight, and it's fairly easy to untie. So the second variation I talked about was the slip variation, and this is one that I probably use the most, whether I tie up a horse or whatever. The reason you would use a slip variation is because it's easy to untie and most time can be done with one hand. So you're going to tie like you would the regular 2/2 hitch around your pole, your post, your tree, whatever. Take the loose end over the top, up through the hole, back over the top, and this time instead of coming straight up through the hole, what you're going to do is you're going to make a little loop with the loose end and then tighten it down. Now this allows it to still hold tight. That knot's not going anywhere, and then you can just yank the end and that knot can come straight off. So that's probably the most useful because it's quick, it's easy, and if you need to untie it in a hurry, you can. So the third variation, the fishing variation, this one's a little bit different because of the material you use. So a fishing line's a lot thinner and slicker than a rope is. And so I tied the 2/2 hitch a little differently. Technically it's not a 2/2 hitch, but it's still the same basic method. So you go around your post, the hole, usually the hole in the fish hook or lure. So you go through it, and you want to make sure you have plenty of access rope here on your right hand side. And you're going to go over, just like you did the first one, up through the hole you make, and then you're going to go over, but this time instead of making a loop and come back through or just coming straight back through, what you're going to do is you're going to loop around the end of the rope several times. Now it doesn't matter how many times. What you're trying to do here is just to make extra surface area because of the slickness of the rope. You don't want it slipping. So if you tie just a regular 2/2 hitch, then most likely it would slip when a fish got on there. But with this one, there's several different loops if you keep them from overlapping. There's several different loops, and then they form that surface area and that tight knot, and once you tighten it all down, that knot's definitely not going anywhere. Now you can tie this one if you want to with, tying down tents or whatever, things that you want to make sure don't get away. That 2/2 hitch is also pretty strong, but if you want that extra security, or your line's a little slick, like maybe it's a really slick nylon rope or it's a fishing line, then you'll do those extra loops and it'll add that surface area that'll keep your knot from slipping. So the knot I covered today, the most useful knot you'll ever tie, the 2/2 hitch. Super easy, super useful, lots of different variations you can tie it. Probably my favorite is the slip one, but you can just tie a regular one. So real quick again, take your right hand rope, over, up through the hole, over, up through your second hole, and that's a 2/2 hitch.